Black America, they've been playing with your emotions. If you were a Kamala supporter and you were like, what, we gonna get a black woman? Wow, amazing. I can't believe the historical impact of this. They've been playing with your emotions, man. I think we all need to keep our heads on straight.
I feel that the future is bright.
Let's not trip. Don't give in to the propaganda.
And that we will have a new president.
Just look at it for what it is.
Who will be elected, and she will lead the nation with integrity and with a sense of fairness and justice, and she will be me. I
didn't get a chance to look at her website. Buck hit me up. He said, Tim, Kamala's got policies on her website now. And I'm like, wow, that was just in time for the debates. Just so she could say, I got policies up there. Gives everyone just about what? 20 hours or 15 hours to look at them? Just before America finds out who she is. Get what I'm saying? Many Americans have no idea. And then they present her as an HBCU grad.
As a proud HBCU graduate, I know firsthand the value of attending an institution like yours.
And cooks collard green in a bathtub.
I have a friend who had a Christmas party, Christmas Eve every year, and she asked me to make the greens for a party every year. And I am not lying to you that I would make so many greens that I'd need to wash them in the bathtub. I'm telling you the truth.
Keep this in mind, folks, that there's this thing called polling. And polling is just a snapshot in time. It don't really tell you what people are going to do. So I got a feeling all the polling that says Trump is down or the polling that said he was down, there were a lot of people that were questioning that didn't want to say they were going to vote for Trump because they've been calling the guy Hitler for 8 years. They've been calling him a racist, a sexist, a crook, a corrupted person still in democracy. So it's got to be a lot of folks who just didn't want to say, yeah, I'm going to vote for that guy. So we got those people, right? Then we got people who I got to imagine said they were voting for Kamala, who were just saying that because, well, sound like the right thing to say. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like maybe I should say that, because I don't want to be called a racist. So, yeah. So we got people that believe in Trump or prefer him. I don't even know if they believe in him, but there are people that prefer him over Kamala. But there's a lot of reasons why they might not want to say that. I know you've been hearing a lot of stuff from CNN and MSNBC, but if I was you, I'd take everything you've been hearing from Joy Reid, The View, and all those folks with a grain of salt. Nah, a cup of salt.
Well, we begin with brand new polling showing former President Trump pulling ahead of Vice President Kamala Harris. Maybe a sign that her momentum has stalled. New York Times Siena College poll shows Trump leading Harris by 1 point in this super tight race. And the new polls show Trump also remains popular with a 46% approval rating. That's big. Better than where he stood in either of his last two presidential campaigns.
And see, that's one of the things I've been trying to tell folks, man. I know I'm going to have butthurt people in the comments section, and it comes with the territory. But I think they've been playing with your emotions. Black America, they've been playing with your emotions. If you were a Kamala supporter and you were like, what, we gonna get a black woman? Wow, amazing. I can't believe the historical impact of this. They've been playing with your emotions, man. I truly do not believe that the Democratic Party expected her to do anything other than what they're doing right now with smoke and mirrors. They're as surprised as anyone else. They were able to raise that much money. They're surprised that people are even buying their shtick. But it's got to end at some point where people got to go, let me test drive the car. Let me hear let me hear something. See, they've been playing with people's emotions, getting them excited, gaslighting them. And look at these numbers. Look at the numbers. The poll's not done by Fox News, Let's keep going.
And this poll is being called one of Trump's most overlooked advantages. Voters see Trump as closer to the center than Harris, and nearly half of all voters say that Harris is too liberal or progressive. That explains all of her flip-flopping. Those policies, they simply won't get her to the White House. But just ask Bernie Sanders. He seems to know this.
You have described Vice President Kamala Harris as a progressive. She has previously supported Medicare for all. Now she does not. She's previously supported a ban on fracking. Now she does not. These, Senator, are ideas that you have campaigned on. Do you think that she is abandoning her progressive ideals?
No, I don't think she's abandoning her ideals. I think she's trying to be pragmatic and doing what she thinks is right in order to win the election.
When I heard Bernie Sanders say that, the first thing that popped in my head is that Bernie, he's been lying to us all this time. That's the first thing that popped into my head. For Bernie Sanders to say, to believe what I believe, ain't gonna get it done. That Kamala has to be pragmatic, which means sell out. It means go against everything you just raised money off of. It means pretend to be someone else, or maybe you were pretending all along. See what I'm saying? How could that be acceptable, Bernie? How could that be acceptable, Bernie? Why is that just business as usual to you? I don't look at it as business as usual. I look at it as a person that can't be trusted. If you have core beliefs, you don't change them in because you might have to fight for it. You don't just throw them away because, I don't know, some other people might disagree with you. What good is electing somebody who believed in certain things and then gave up on them to get elected? And what are they going to do when they get elected? They're going to readopt those beliefs that they originally had, or they're going to keep going the way they're going because they want to get reelected. So if what you're saying is you're trying to defend an indefensible position, which is she don't really believe that. She's just saying she's just pretending to be a neoliberal, centrist, moderate Republican. She really is a progressive.
Do you still consider Vice President Kamala Harris to be progressive, Senator?
I do. Look.
Or is she really a moderate, neoliberal, Republican slash corporate Democrat slash, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which one is she? Hence, guys, that's all I've been telling people. You don't know what to think with her because she all over the place. You want somebody who's going to come home every day on time. And if they don't come home every day on time, they be a little late. They hit you on the hip and they say, look, I'm running late. I'm picking up dinner. What you want? You want some type of stability in a relationship. And you can't have people all over the map. You can't build a life with somebody like that. And you damn sure shouldn't support someone like that. You damn sure shouldn't commit to them. And what I got people trying to do right now is commit the next 4 years to somebody they don't know what they're about, what they're going to do, what they believe in, what's true, what's not true, what was being pragmatic, what was really her, nothing. And then you want me to look at her vice president and go, well, he's got really rock solid beliefs. Then I found out when he was in the Senate, when he was in Congress, he was a different guy. Then he went to become governor, became this crazy progressive. Is he now going to go back to being what he was before? He was a crazy progressive in Minnesota. I don't know what to believe with these guys. Nothing. I know what. Don't believe them. Do not believe them and stop putting your hope into a system of liars. Stop putting your hope into a system or a party that lies all the time. That's what they're good at. They continuously lie to us. Folks, black people ain't got nothing out of the Democratic Party for 40 years. Hell, 60 years. Maybe 70 years. 64, Civil Rights Act 64. Maybe something happened around 70. Had somebody today say, Tim, well, don't forget about affirmative action. Fool, the primary beneficiary of affirmative action was a white woman. And guess who's married to most white women? White guys. So guess who really benefited from that? White families. You care to try again? I'm sure this time you can hit the thing and win the big bear. Goofy. Nah, man, see, I don't believe that Kamala Harris, and I don't believe Bernie Sanders is being honest. I don't like what Bernie's doing. He's like running defense for her. It sounds like he's carrying water for her. I'm very disappointed in him. But Kamala, she a snake. I don't think Bernie's been pretending to be that guy for 40 years. That's a long time to pretend. I don't like the fact he's trying to give Kamala an out for adopting his policies, using them because she thought she could win in 2019, and then throwing them off like an old suit. Throwing them off like she had some, I don't know, $50 shoes, and somebody just got her some red bottoms. Get them shoes out of here. Let's see what else they got to say.
Rejoiced with that soundbite. Look, Molly, this reminded me of the Etch-a-Sketch comment from the senior advisor to the Romney campaign, where he said a general election campaign is an Etch-a-Sketch. You shake it up and you change everything. And he got widely derided for that. That is essentially the same thing. He's saying she's still liberal progressive. She's just hiding it. And it bears asking all of the American public, does she still support all of this? We'll scroll at her 2019 policies. Medicare for all, banning fracking. The list goes on. Medicare, Green New Deal, an extreme list.
Well, first off, I think it's worth pointing out that she hasn't actually changed her position. It is true that she's willing to say almost anything to get elected. And my favorite example of this is actually back in 2020, when in the Democrat primary debate, you might recall, she called President Biden a horrific racist. She was asked about it on a late night show later, and she said, they were like, why would you be on the same ticket as someone who you said was this horrible person? And she kept saying it was just a debate.
She didn't actually call Biden a racist. She said, I'm not saying you're racist.
I'll direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. It was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
Don't you love that when they do that, though? We say all these things that make them sound like a racist. And be like, oh, I'm not saying you're racist, but let's just say you're sitting next to a racist guy. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between you and a racist. I'm not saying you're the racist, but I'm saying everybody who supports you is racist. That's a wiggle room out. Yeah, man, I'm not feeling strongly about I'm not feeling good about what I hear from Bernie on this. But people have been saying this, man, and I guess when I used to call myself a progressive, now I'm just a guy who believes in certain policies. I believe certain things we should have because we're Americans. Americans should be able to get sick. Americans should be able to not be homeless. Hey, man, if you can house migrants, you can house us. That's all. We like some American dream too, please. How about the people that are paying the taxes? What about that? I don't think that sounds radical. Is that kooky? That communism? To say that people that pay bills, that run that support the country, the essential workers that everyone was going, essential worker, praise them. How about letting them live indoors? I know. It's weird to think of in this political system we have, but I think it's kind of basic, guys. So I don't know if you want to call that progressive. I'll just call that being a guy who's not a jackass. You know? But, yeah. They say Tim Black America's a center-right country. The way I'm looking at it, America's a center-stupid country. If you can come out of here and be chameleon, and people go, yeah, this is good. Out of the blue and be a whole different person, pushed the button and became a different human being. We go into this debate. People are going to get an opportunity to see the real Kamala.
I went to Chicago. It's the first political convention I've ever gone to.
Oh,
because it's the first one I've wanted to go to. And it was a party.
No, Obama.
Okay?
What about Obama?
No, I didn't go to that.
I went to
either.
that one.
I didn't go to that.
Okay.
And when Lil Jon came down the staircase, I was like, this is a different kind of convention, okay? I feel hopeful again. I feel hopeful again.
I got a clip where someone's going to try to break down for us what debates mean for voters. Because not everybody's going to be impacted by the debates. You know, most people, I believe most people, I'd say 7 out of 10 of us already know who we're voting for.
The general view is that debates usually don't matter that much, except that sometimes they matter enormously. I think we can pretty safely predict that this one is going to matter, largely because voters are still pretty shallow in their impressions of Vice President Harris. She has made a very positive first impression. Her favorable, unfavorable rating is better than Biden's, better than Trump's, better than anybody on either ticket at this point. But those impressions are still pretty shallow. So
the media has painted a picture of Kamala. Yeah, and that's it. That's all. They told you what it is. So they saw a picture. It's like, how can I say this? Let's say you never had, there's a new pizza place in your town, right? New pizza place comes to town and they do a commercial spot. Back in the day, they send flyers. And you get they send flyers and you see the flyer. It's their advertising. Substitute the pizza spot for DNC. Substitute the advertising that you're going to read for the commercials and the reporting of the Democratic Party or the CNNs and the MSNBCs and CBS and ABC and all these guys, right? They're the advertising on the flyer that you get for the pizza shop, right? And you're looking at it and you're like, wow, pizza looks pretty good. Because maybe you're from Maryland. You're going, what? Crab on pizza. That's different. Blue shell crab on pizza. Or even better yet, oxtail. Yeah, we got a new spot not too far from where I'm at right now. They got oxtails on pizza, so like, hey, I gotta try it. This is good. It may take me out, but I gotta try it at least once. It looks good. Here's the deal. Until the debates happen, until she sits down for real interviews, not pre-recorded ones, you ain't get a chance to taste it. Tomorrow will be the first time you get a little bit of taste. It'll be a little sample, right? And people are going to quickly determine from that sample if they should buy some more, right? That's how this works. So everything up until now, forget the rallies. Man, there ain't nobody at them damn rallies. That's propaganda. That's reading a script. Somebody, a whole team of people put a bunch of stuff on a teleprompter. And all she had to do was look at it and read it. And not screw up too bad. She's so afraid of saying the wrong stuff. There was a lady that almost died in the audience, and she's like, oh, someone almost died. I'm gonna go off script for a second. Are you okay? She had to tell the audience she's going off script to talk about the person who just passed out. That's how glued to the teleprompter she's been. And we got people from CNN and MSNBC telling us how amazing she is. Yeah, because the advertising's been good. Because you had enough money, and let's face it, you didn't have to spend that much money. Because you have the benefit of free flyers. Yeah. You have people passing out the flyers for free. CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, all the corporate media, all the liberal media. And yeah, there are a lot of people that are low information voters. They don't need to know. But come on. A lot of people are not that low, where it's like they'll just pick a no-name person. Not when their pockets are tight, not when the rent's sky high, not when the gas is sky high, not when you can't afford a bacon sandwich. Like, hey, I know it's bad for me, but let me choose not to buy it because I don't want it. I don't want to choose not to buy it because I can't afford it. She's a part of that administration. I know you want to pretend it's not true, but it is. And here's the kicker to it. And this ticks me off about the Democratic Party. A lot of the people that support Kamala who are in the media game, a lot of the surrogates and stuff, they're quick to try to act like Kamala Harris should not be judged by Joe Biden.
Polls show the economy continues to be the top issue for many voters, including inflation and affordability. And yet there is only one candidate who is proposing policies that would actually help Americans, Vice President Kamala Harris.
But if it wasn't for Joe Biden, she would not be the nominee. Because without him endorsing her, without him being the VP, people never would have voted for her. So you can't have one without the other. What I'm saying is, you're only in a position that she's the nominee because she was the VP. How dare you try to act like she ain't attached to the VP slot and she's not attached to the administration? Ain't that just like a fair weather friend? Ride to the club with you and then want to go home with someone new. What a lame date. Look, guys, for all the negative talk, all the badgering we've had to endure, man, we had to listen to a lot of shills. A lot of Democratic shills been bending our ears, ripping us up, calling us names. I couldn't believe Ricky Smiley was actually talking down to people like they were dumb and he was smart. Ricky Smiley ain't nothing but Tyler Perry without the creativity. Okay? He got the dress without the scripts. This debate is going to come down to, if you go to MSNBC, unless Kamala throws up, like literally upchucks all over the floor, then falls down in it, rolls around, proceeds to climb into a fetal position, sucks her thumb and goes, mama. Unless she does that, they're going to say she won. You know what I mean? That's just how it's going to work. And when I say they, I mean 90% of news broadcasters are going to say it. And a whole lot of the white progressives and the white liberals that call themselves progressive that are on independent media. Because they're looking behind her, looking at Tim Walz going, come on, Tim. I like you, Tim. I shop at the Gap, too. Land's ending. So, yeah. But remember, it's all up to the voters at home, man. When they hit her ass with today I had a great show with Friday Jones. We talked about reparations in California. And like I said to Friday Jones, I believe some point tomorrow, because they love to do it, I think they only do it to try to hurt the candidates, but at some point someone's going to say, but Kamala Harris, what do you think about reparations? It's going to be an opportunity for Kamala to undo some of the stink on her. Because a lot of Black Americans, that's very popular. It's a very polarizing topic, right? Because, 75, 85% of Black people support it and only about 30% of white people. And that's up from 15. Support it. Which way is Kamala going to go? What's she going to do? She was against body cameras until 2020. She was against legalizing weed until 2018 when she decided to run in 2019. So I really want to know what she's going to do. What's she going to decide? What's going to be, the line in the sand that she's going to be willing to stand on 10 toes down. And that's the problem, folks. There was no line in the sand that she's willing to stand on. None. And I hate the fact that there are Black children, Black little girls like my oldest granddaughter, Naomi, who are watching this and she's looking with stars in her eyes like, wow. My granddaughter's only 12. And now she's looking at it like, wow. I think all of it is damage control to keep Black women on the Democratic plantation so they don't run to the Republican plantation because they're both plantations. 2 plantations. You get what I'm saying? So I think it was they're playing on the emotions of Black people in order to try to get them to vote for Kamala, just to try to keep them, because if they didn't give Kamala the nomination, Black women would have been out. Forget about it. They would have bounced. So they had no choice, man, because Shapiro would have won, or Gretchen Whitmer would have won, or Tim Walz would have won. You know it, and I know it.